Hello, everybody. So I finally did it. I finally found a VOD request for a Lucio. Surprisingly, one of the hardest heroes to find a VOD request for, and it sucks because I am a Lucio main. So I've been dying to VOD review a Lucio, but we finally got one. So, let's get right into it here. So this is our Lucio. Let's see what he says here. I've been grinding ranked for a good while, but I haven't climbed far. Placed bronze 1, then got to silver 2, and now down to silver 5. Ouch. I was stuck silver in Overwatch 1 as well. Okay. So the whole thing's been unmotivating. I feel like I'm still missing so much. I think I have problems with game awareness and positioning, but I'm still not sure how to go about fixing them. I main Lucio primarily, but I can also play Ana, Bap, Kiriko, depending on the team. Provides replay code. I was pushing with the team at first, but I didn't realize our backline was getting obliterated. I tried to do what I could after we lost the fight, but I felt there was only so much I could do, and we couldn't recover too well for the rest of the match. And gives battle tag. Okay, and apparently he plays Ana at some point, but doesn't state where. And it's kind of a short match, especially for the map, so I don't know exactly how much Lucio we're going to get because I don't watch these VODs before I do the recording. But, alright, let's get into it. So, this is what we've got for a team comp. So, yeah, I will say one thing. In Overwatch 1, I would one-trick heroes, and sometimes to my detriment. In 2, I don't one-trick unless I just don't care. But would I play Lucio in this team comp? No. I would probably have played either Bap or Mercy, maybe Zen, and maybe Brig. It's a lot of maybes depending on what we're up against. I probably would have either done Bat, Mercy, or Zen here. The reason being, Ashe and Bastion could get good pockets. They'd all from Mercy. They'd be able to take advantage of a well-placed window, and Zen for pushing the cart and allowing the rest of the team to just do their own thing. And Brig, as if they were diving us, and then to bodyguard the Ana while pushing the cart. That would be the reasons for why I say those heroes. So I don't think Lucio's the greatest fit here, but let's get into it and see what we've got. All right. So heal yourself here. No reason not to just be topping yourself off before you get back into speed boost. Yeah, you should be on heal once you got over to your Ana. Speed's only gonna do a low ranked player so much, and at this point, swapping over to heal. Yeah, so it took you way too long to... It would have been nice to see the Ana retreating when you did do the speed boost, but my guess is they're so low ranked and they're just kind of freaking out about the Tracer, they're just not thinking clearly. So you swapping to heal once you kind of got them on speed and, you know, the Tracer lost tracking on the Ana would have been the play there. So at this point, basically your whole team is dead. Sigma's about to die. You don't have amp. Everybody else is dead. Get out. If you can, speed the Sigma out, assuming he hasn't already gotten out. And then just wait for another team fight here. So I would say one thing. Don't go into spawn to heal yourself. That's just free ult charge for you. Granted, I mean, we're only talking a couple percentage points, but, you know, every little bit helps. So I don't know why your other support went Brig. I mean, I guess they did it because of Tracer, but yeah, I don't agree with that swap. you normally don't want to play Brig Lucio on attack for an escort map. That just doesn't. I don't know. I don't feel the synergy or the reasoning behind it. I could see like a Brig Anna or a Brig in some other form of a main healer, maybe, but yeah. So aim is kind of not great here. You seem confused on what to do. So let's go back and rewatch this, and I'm just gonna say what I would be doing. So I would be speeding the team out right here, first and foremost, because your team's basically at full health. So speed the team out. I'd either be staying back or keeping on the cart so it's not backing up, and then just retreating to here or retreating into here, just depending on how the enemy team reacts. Because the one detriment to Lucio on this part of the map, there's not much to wall ride on, and Lucio gets a lot of advantage from wall riding, but there's just not a good amount of area to get value from doing that here, which you could also add that as another reason not to play Lucio on the beginning of this map, at least in terms of attacking. Not saying you can't, because I've done it more times than I care to admit to, but just giving, you know, thought here. So as soon as the Orisa starts pushing your Sojourn back, who was Ashe before, so another reason to be Mercy here, pocketing a Sojourn is something I say to do many times in other videos. I would be trying to speed the Sojourn away from the Orisa and then healing them. So the aim here, you shouldn't have missed all 4 shots on that Orisa. So I'm wondering if maybe you gotta work on your sensitivity or just your aim in general, because there's another 4 shots just straight into the dirt. Like, if you're having trouble aiming on an Orisa, that needs to be addressed. You should be able to land 4 virtually point-blank shots on an Orisa. So let's back up a bit here. So amping to try to save Brig was probably the play. You had it. I had to check to see if you had it, but you did have it. So speeding Brig there doesn't do them any favors, and it doesn't do you any favors. You got to get on the heal song there and amp. And I'm not saying it would have saved them, but it was their only hope and prayer of being saved. So at this point, you're down to, I would be trying to speed, since you haven't used your amp yet, speeding the Sigma out is the next best thing, because this is a lost fight. Point blanking against an Orisa, though, not the greatest thing to do, but since she just speared you back into spawn, it might just be the better play at this point to just back out into spawn and get out and wait for your team. The only problem is your Sigma is so deep in there, and he did just get a pick, which is interesting. So at the moment, it's a 2 versus 3. If you're good at dodging and you're good at wall riding here, you could maybe prolong this until your team gets back. And I only say that because your Sigma is basically full health. So the path I would be trying to take if I were to try to wall ride right here, and then trying to do something like that, and then jumping over to here, that could make you hard to hit, while also healing your Sigma or speeding him, depending on if you're flipping back and forth or whatever the case may be. That's probably what I'd be trying to do. See what you do. Okay, so you see why I said to wall ride. You're on the ground and it got you into trouble. As Lucio tends to catch a lot of stray stuff, and wall riding is your way to typically avoid a lot of stray stuff, and you're not wall riding. And if you're not wall riding as Lucio, you don't really have any business playing Lucio, because wall riding has to be a huge part of your game style to be an effective Lucio. So
Accelerated assist.
Let's watch this from... Let's watch it from... I think this will give us a good view, hopefully. So, she throws it, it's on the Sigma. Now, it would have been nice if the Sigma just stopped moving, but I think you still would have been too close. Now, imagine if you were wall riding here and up here, that bomb blows up there. By the time it blows up, you would have probably been here or somewhere over here, and you'd have been safe, and then you'd have been pushing the cart instead of dying.
Secure for all the bales. I will not leave a broken world behind.
Oh, is this all the Lucio we're gonna get on? Oh. Alright, well, let's see what we get out of your Anna. Alright, so I like the high ground position.
Coming through.
Okay, good anti. Yeah, I would have just been scoping there. No real reason to be hip firing that. Good try on the sleep. You had the right mindset on it. I would be throwing a healing nade right now on your Bastion just to keep him going. Okay, good, you did it. Yeah, about all you could do there. I probably would have tried to stay more toward either the high ground or backing up a little bit more, though. That's really the only thing I think I would add to what you did there. And a little too much hip firing. You're missing too much to be hip firing that much, where I think your aim gets better when you're scoping, so you might want to just focus on scoping a little bit more. So yeah, see, it's a lot of hip firing right there, and it's a lot of missing right there. So less hip fire. It's no shame in a situation like the ones I've been pointing out if you were using a scope there. The only time I ever really fault people for scoping is if you're kind of like in a hiding situation. Because then when you're scoping, like, it leaves that trail, and then it kind of just draws a line straight to where the Anna is. But in any of these situations, that wouldn't have mattered. So, yeah, no reason not to just walk into your spawn there instead of just kind of fumbling around shooting hip-fired shots at the air. Just walk out. So, considering what we've got going on in terms of you having nano now, so who should you be nanoing? Don't nano Brig because she doesn't have ult. If Brig has ultimate and she uses it once she starts getting toward a front line, then it would be a good nano, but that's not the case here. I don't think nanoing Sojourn is the best choice. It wouldn't be the worst, but I don't think it would be the best. I'd probably either be looking for Bastion in turret form or Sigma. That's probably what I'd be looking for to do here.
Breaking them down.
Hey, it's Jacob. This is not the end.
60 seconds remaining.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Okay, so yeah, I like that choice of nano. Yeah, that was a good grenade. Like it.
Guess I'm the air support. Here goes nothing.
Okay, if you get stuck by a pulse bomb, don't move. Become a statue. You could have killed other people there, or they could have took damage that they didn't need to take. Don't move when you get stuck by a pulse bomb.
I go out on my terms.
For a silver game, this Tracer is getting incredible value
10 seconds.
out of pulse bombs. I'm almost wondering if they're a Smurf. Yeah, so they're kind of same thing. Use your scope.
It's go time.
Yeah, unfortunate that your soldier didn't get an ultimate when it
To 0. Switching
when it would have
sides.
mattered.
Initiating.
Okay, so we're back on Lucio. That makes me happy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Let's look at team count. So again, yeah, it's not the most advantageous Lucio team count. You can I would expect you to be mostly glued to your Sigma here, and then letting Moira heal the DPS and the Sigma. But normally I would like Moira healing the tank. But in a case like this, I would be looking for you to helping the Sigma stalling the points. Because you guys are going to have to play a really aggressive defense to attempt to win this, which I'm guessing you're not going to win this. This is asking a lot from any rank to hold where you guys got it to. But in order for you guys to do that, where the Sigma is basically where to be holding, which is down there. So, I mean, because Lucio is so mobile, I'm okay with you starting where you're starting just to throw some extra healing toward the DPS. But once things start like really developing, that's where I'm going to be kind of expecting you to be. So you can basically climb the wall here, and you can wall ride on this bridge. And then kind of bouncing around over here. You can bounce around back here, get over here. You can wall ride on this. You can wall ride on the other side of that, just to make yourself hard to hit. You can get yourself over here and, you know, kind of turn into a little bit of a sniper Lucio, depending on where your team is. So you have options in terms of wall riding here, but it's a matter of if you know how to do it, how good your wall riding is, and where your team is. Because you don't want to be doing some of that if your team's not going to get advantages from it beyond you. And then the other difficulty of doing some of that wall riding is how is your aim while doing the wall riding, because you need to be able to aim while doing that. Now, obviously, your aim's going to drop off to some degree, but if it drops off completely, that's another thing for your game to be working on.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
So yeah, like starting out down here, you just got to be careful you don't get yourself picked right away. So if your team's going to start there, you could climb up here and then bounce back around that way, or you could come up here, depending again on what you're up against. I would say playing a little bit closer to the turret, or you could just stay right there. And then speed back around and come through the area and get back to your Sigma. That would be kind of where I would expect you to be. Right now, you do have people in your circle, but you're kind of out in the open and you're kind of frontlining, which you don't want to be doing as a support unless you've got a rhythm in terms of wall riding, being hard to hit, and that sort of a thing. Also, why is Lucio's fingers so long? It's creepy.
The barrier's weakened.
So, I want to rewind that. Let's kind of get into a rhythm of what actually happens here. So you're taking shots, but you're missing all of them. I would be looking for the tank to be shooting at. And then because it's Orisa, looking for headshots. So yeah, so you wall. This is an inconsequential wall ride that actually takes you away from your team. It's kind of the opposite of what you should be trying to do. I probably would have amped, because by the time you got to your Sigma, his shield is low, he's half. You have, well, you're about to have it. Okay, good job on landing headshots. You're kind of starting to aim for like head level, which is something I would be looking for from you. If you're not landing headshots as Lucio, you got to start getting in the habit of trying to spam your shots at head level for different people you're up against. Also, while you're aiming, do a little bit of a spread here, you know, kind of in that kind of direction. Or you could even go like that or like this, something like that. That's what I would be looking at in terms of trying to land headshots. Usually when I aim as Lucio, I always try to form like a little bit of a pattern. Like I try to do like a little spread like that. So then that way when they're strafing and trying to duck and dodge your shots, they sometimes will just strafe into all four of them. Otherwise, sometimes if I'm up against different levels of people, I'll kind of just do like something like that, where I'm trying to land headshots on everybody. Now, maybe I'd have missed a soldier, but I still land a couple body shots, and then I land like a couple headshots on the Orisa. So different ways you can go about that, but, you know, just throwing that out there as a aiming suggestion. So, yeah, you should be on pretty much on healing 100% of the time here, also amping. There you go. There's really no reason for you to be on speed boost here. This should pretty much all be 100% heal. You're in the one spot that's very easy to be wall riding and stalling, and you're not doing it. Your tank's been kind of stalling, but you could be playing this a little bit more aggressive. Let me get into a better shot here. This should work. So you could be, actually, wait, let me back out just a little bit more. Okay, so just ignoring what's going on at the moment and just strictly talking map, this is what you could be doing. You could start your wall ride here, come across, jump, and then land here, and then you could come up around, and then come around here, you could come around here, and then come back up here, and just start wall riding around here, and being extremely hard to hit, especially for the rank you're in. Meanwhile, the cart is just permanently stuck in this zone, and they'll really have to be focusing more on you, and not so much on your team. That could have been a good stall tactic for you, but you're not even doing that. And I don't think you're looking, I don't know if you're not just looking to do it because you're trying to heal your Sigma, or if it's just something you don't even know to do. That's hard for me to tell, because playing with your Sigma wasn't necessarily a bad thing to do. However, you could have done it a little bit more effectively. So let's go back and just watch this one more time as you get back over here. Okay, so right around there, I'd have left it on heal. Like right here is fine, but like leave it on heal and amp. Okay, so your Moira got back and did the healing. So flipping between the two would be fine, but I would not have been leaving it just stuck on speed. So as they're getting driven back, this is where the wall riding would have kicked in at, because you're in the spot to do it at. You'd have to back up just a little bit to maybe get the momentum going, but you're in the spot to start contesting the cart right here pretty much. So, right, yeah, and you even kind of tried to do it a little bit, but like I said, you probably would have had to have backed up just a little bit. But you're in the spot now where you could have been going all over the place and stalling this cart as they get pushed back from the Orisa. But you don't, and you do a good job landing the headshots, but now's the time to be getting on that cart and stalling it in an intelligent, hard to hit manner. And I'm not advocating just going up here and standing on the ground trying to hold the cart. You know, I'm talking about what I was just saying before with the wall riding, but... So, yeah, you should be healing here. Okay, you do it. So, like, if you were wall riding a bit, you might have been able to take out the Baptiste, or at the very... Okay, so the lamp's down now. They're all full health. Have to think about this. So I'm okay with the speed boost initially, but then swapping back to healing would be like right here. I would get your Sigma back up to 100. You notice, and then you got to get out because of the oh, and your Torb just died. I almost want to say this is Moira's job to get the Bastion going. You could be amping though. Yeah, there you go. Although you just leave him. So this is a little bit of an indecision. I guess I'm all right with what you decided to do, but what did Bastion end up doing? Because I think he just left you. So he shoots his grenade, you start amping and he runs from you. And then he realizes that you amp, but then you're just gone. So, yeah, I get why you started going back, but you committed to healing the Bastion, just see it through. Because at this point now, he's kind of vulnerable. It would either have been that or just double pocketing the Sigma, because it looks like the Moira needed help. You know, and it's easy to just second guess everything here because we're just pausing it where you're kind of thinking in the moment. And this is also a little bit of why Lucio on this map isn't the greatest thing, because your team is so spread out and Lucio just has that circle. And it turns into a very disadvantaged situation for Lucio. I don't actually like Lucio on this part of the map. The second and the third part get a lot easier for him, but the first part's very weak for him, which is why I said Zen in the beginning, which is why I said Brig in the beginning, Mercy and whatever else, Bap, I think I said. They would have probably have gotten you more value here. So I think if you want to play Lucio, I think maybe finding a different healer for the first part of this map would probably help you. And then when it gets to the second and third part, then going Lucio, I think you'd probably find yourself having a little bit better time here because they're just so spread out that you just can't really play your hero to full effectiveness. So at this point, based on where you are, you gotta either get Sigma to a health pack, which I'm guessing is gone, and then you heal him, or if you're really hard to hit, you might be able to hold the point and picking off the soldier. Okay, so you got soldier. So now you, at this point, get your Sigma going. Playing at the other side of the cart, getting away from the Sojourn while getting your Sigma going. That's what you should be doing now. Yeah, don't frontline against the Sojourn. Yeah, heal your Sigma. Get him. You're still on speed. You're speeding too much. You've got two people right here, and I'm guessing the other one is let me get off. Who is the other one? Is that Bastion? Yeah, I think it's Bastion. So you got two people that desperately need healing here. Well, one desperately needs healing, the other one needs a top off. But you should be on heal. Heal, please heal. Yeah, you see, and then you got yourself and the Bastion killed. So another thing you could have been doing here, based on the cart's existence of being here, is you can wall ride to here, to here, to here, or the other way around, you know, hopping over to here, or going around, hopping over here, wall riding here, hopping to here, that kind of a thing. But way too much speed boosting. Your team needs health. I'm just curious at this point. Wow. Your Moira kind of threw too. She should be completely healing your Sigma at this point. I don't even care that she killed the soldier. Wow, okay. Yeah, because imagine if your tank lived. He could have just held the cart right here. Get on the cart. Alright, so let's get back on you here. This is not a VOD review for the Moira, so let's see your wall riding coming out of spawn. Okay, so already see an issue. Don't amp here. Don't amp here. Wall ride off the side of the wall, or the side of the stairs. You could do it off of here too, I suppose, but I would probably do it here and then amp. Because if you're hitting spacebar, each jump your speed will increase and you'll get more value out of your amp and you'll get there quicker. You're not even hitting spacebar off your wall riding. You're like holding it, I think. So yeah, you really got to work on your wall riding. If you're serious about playing Lucio, you need to get into some custom games, into a lobby by yourself, and just wall ride everywhere, and know the maps like the back of your hand for wall riding. So again, you're on speed way too much here. Way too much. Your health is way too low to be on speed in a circumstance where you need to be alive. There you go. Too late though. Now imagine if you had done that amp earlier and then the soldier ult, you could have sped yourself to safety back here, or around that little, what is that, like an outhouse or something? So I also want to analyze...
Ready for battle.
I want to just analyze quickly if beat drop was really the play to do out of here. I get why you did it. I'm just curious if it was or not.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
All right, let's let's think about this in a sense where this could be a potential learning experience. So your bastion's right behind you. You don't speed him in. You're in a panic right now. If you speed the bastion in, there's time for you. There's time still. So you beat drop. Now imagine if Bastion was with you. You know what I mean? Imagine, like, look around, know your surroundings, know where your team is, and get full advantage. I don't think you would have definitely gotten here in time, and your beat drop would have gotten the Bastion had you have done that. Now, with that said, I'm only doing such a deep dive on this because this is a very short game. So let's just try to get as much content out of this as we can. Okay, did you even need to beat drop this? Your Moira is full health. Now, granted, she's in kind of a dumb position, but they're not even looking at her. I don't think you did. I don't think you needed to. So, you know, the first analysis of getting the Bastion in and then beat dropping, you know, then you've got most of your team beat drop, but why are we really beat dropping here? And on top of that, why even dive bomb into an ulting Moira? There's still time to contest this. You don't have to be like suicide diving in and then yeeting your beat drop. You know what I mean? Like, I think you gotta calm down in your game a little bit. This all screams panic play to me. Managing your time, managing every inch of space, because you can still contest this up until like basically right here. So there's still a fair chunk of time left to get your Bastion in. Your Moira seems to be holding her own at the moment. You know, she could potentially come around here and be holding this, but or just hiding from the Moira ult and maybe doing a little bit of contesting. But the point is I don't think you got good value out of this beat drop. And the only reason you needed the beat drop here is because you just yeeted yourself into a fight that you had a little time to not needing to be engaging in just yet. Now, was there anybody else that could have benefited from this? So Bastion, like, look how far back he is and how much space you could have helped him cover. And then, yeah, so that's about it. You really only could have gotten Bastion back. Everybody else is pretty far back. But imagine having Bastion, Moira, and you fighting an Orisa and a Moira. Like, that could have been winnable, frankly. Like, and if not, the Bastion would have gotten a lot of ult charge just shooting at that Orisa. He shouldn't have died because you and the Moira were there. And you both could have been like, that could have been like Moira pocketing Bastion, you speeding him, and then healing a little bit when it starts getting too much for the Moira to take advantage of, if that even happens. But this was definitely a winnable fight without you needing to beat drop and yeeting yourself into the fight. Now, you hold the cart, but the thing that I want to cover that I haven't even gotten a chance to say yet, Lucio is at best beat dropping when he is countering an enemy offensive ult. Lucio's beat drop is defensive 9 times out of 10. The one time being if you need to engage in a fight that's a bit of an emergency, which this is becoming, but it wasn't quite yet when you went in. So Soldier with his visor is a great time to be beat dropping. The other one being Genji Blade, but he's very far from having that. The one thing I want to say, because there are so many Genjis in the game right now, because Genji's a pretty strong character, a good Lucio can match a beat drop to a Genji Blade most of the time, or get pretty close to it. So if you find yourself in a situation where Genji's blading and you're only at like 60 to 80 ult charge, you got to mentally start working on the next time the blade and the beat drop should be matching up, how to get closer to your ult when Genji blades. Sometimes that will be out of your control. Say, for example, if you have a Roadhog on your team, like that's just free ult charge for a Genji unless your Roadhog hooks him, kills him, that kind of thing. But, you know, some of it's going to be tank dependent, but you should be trying to match beat drops to certain ultimates. Soldier is a great example of one that you should be matching. Genji is another one. I'm trying to think of some other ones. And now all of a sudden, of course, I'm drawing a blank. Torbjorn ult would be a good one. Kiriko ult can be a good one. Orisa ult can be a good one, but that one's a bit situational. Sigma ult can be a very good one to counter. What else? Nano in general, circumstantially, can be a good one. Zarya, Gravitons can be a good one to counter. I'm sure there's other ones that I'm not thinking of, but those are the ones that are coming to mind off the top of my head. So, in a case like that, I get why you beat dropped. I think you're just in a panic and you're like, oh crap, I gotta touch the card. But you had time to play with here, and then counteracting that Soldier ult would have been huge. And then once you beat drop, eat some of that damage that comes from the Soldier, and then start seeking cover here, or back over here, or in that room, in that direction. You could maybe go into there, but I mean that's all just depending on where you are and all that. But you know, when you beat drop as Lucio and you start eating that Soldier ultimate, don't just think you'll live forever, because if that Soldier just focuses you down and you beat drop, he can still kill you if he just stays on you, especially if he gets nano boosted or if anybody else starts shooting at you. So you can eat some of it and, you know, kind of tank some of it, but then you still got to start thinking about taking cover. So yeah, so again, think about what I was saying. If your Moira hides, you boost your Bastion in, and then you eat that Soldier ult with the beat drop. Now all of a sudden your Bastion's in a very good spot here to be doing something, because your Bastion just killed the Moira. He just killed the Orisa. Like that could have been a holdable spot. But unfortunately, he's such a giant target, he can't self-heal. He at this point now is just easy pickings. And it's over. So that's how you could have potentially carried that last fight differently. And not saying you would have won the game off of it, but you definitely could have progressed it further along. So things to talk about here. When to wall ride. We covered that. You didn't really get any value from wall riding on that map, or in that spot of the map. It is, to be fair, not the easiest place to wall ride, but we covered places you could have done it. When to ult. 3, too much speeding. So cross-fading your health and your speeding when to do that. And then 4, Speed team back. I'm just gonna say speed team back. For example, like getting your Bastion out of spawn and joining the fight. You know, and even if your Moira didn't survive that whole fight we were talking about, I think she would have though, but even if she didn't, your best chance was to enable your Bastion to try to carry that, and you just didn't even know the Bastion was there. So, I hope you found that helpful, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to finally do a Lucio VOD review. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.